In the Theo Padnos speech, I thought he did a good job in the Q&A, but I feel like his overall speech was very hard to understand because he did do the things that you had spoke about in class about how we're supposed to reiterate our 3 points, or in our the beginning of our speech we're supposed to tell the audience what our 3 points are, and then throughout the speech we're supposed to explain what those are. However, I thought it was hard to understand what he was saying because he was explaining them so in detail. It almost felt like he was getting to his points before they were in his speech. And he did this with how he was going to talk about his play. He really explained to us what the play was and started talking about the play before he started talking about the play. I understand that he's a writer, and I understand that public speaking was not his first thing. I just think that it was, for me at least, it was hard to follow, and it might have been because it was very hot in that room, or I had just sprinted over from my Air Force lead lab to the speech and was very hot, to say the least. I think his informative part of the speech was very good on how he used the visual representation of the things that they did to him in the prisons, and how they had the 3/4 inch steel cable, and how he covered his hands and his eyes and was handcuffed. And that gave me a very good visual, and I almost felt like I was there, which was a fantastic part of his speech, in my opinion. I think what also was one of his better parts was the Q&A, because that really gave me a sense of what went on, and I think that was his strongest part of the speech, and that's what really drew me in at the end, because that was what was important. So he had the wave-like curvature of his speech, where in the beginning he really had me interested on how he started talking about it, and then I kind of lost interest throughout probably the 25-minute mark, and I was just kind of sitting here like waiting for it to pick up back again. And then when when the play ended and then he picked up the Q&A, that's when my interest really peaked, and that's where I was like, okay, I understand what's going on now. I understand he was captured, and that really answered all the unanswered questions I had. And then he really stuck it with the strong conclusion on how he thought that the drones that the military are using are really causing this to happen more, and that there should be another effective way to combat enemy combatants. And then I actually did research on that, and it is more true, but there's also another effect to having the drones in there, but that's a different story. So I thought it was really informative. I really liked the speech, and I would definitely like to see him again in his play, and I would definitely like to see more public speakers throughout the school, because I will definitely go to those presentations.